Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. I'm going to get you. Yep. Oh, there we go. Okay, you're on.
Good evening.
Welcome to another Facebook Live with TFAR Reasons.
Yeah. Hi.
All right, I'm going to get my microphone. Okay. My microphone's good? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, so welcome. It's August.
It is.
Facebook Live, Farm Fresh.
It's the lazy, hazy, daisy days of August.
Summer.
Yeah.
Welcome.
That's the saying that we used to have. But, these days, August has not been a typical summer around here.
Our August has been rather pleasant.
Yeah.
But the heat's coming.
Yeah,
so.
It is. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm Jen with TFAR Reasons.
And I'm Marsha with Vintage for All Reasons.
Yes. And as I said, Farm Fresh is our theme for tonight. And Marmy has some good stuff to show you.
I do.
We're going to have some delicious goodies. And I brought some teas to pair. So I wanted to say thank you to the folks in the group. I posted 2 weeks ago.
Right after the last live.
Yeah, it probably was about a month
it was.
ago. Mm-hmm. Asking for feedback on our Facebook Lives. Do we continue doing what we've been doing? Do we switch it up? Are there topics that you want us to cover? Are you... he's I'm sorry. My dad is on the camera and he was sliding. He was sliding.
That's why I was sliding over.
Sliding the tripod over, and Molly is doing comments, as she normally does. She's manning the comments. Hello, Facebook land. Anyway, so I wanted to say thank you to those who gave comments.
Yeah, thank you.
It was great.
Very helpful.
You both affirmed what we've been doing and asked us to cover some topics and some tweaks. So we're taking those comments to heart. From the suggestions, the top 5 that seem to be the most popular things were for us to show an afternoon tea. So we're going to do that at some point. We're talking about the logistics of how that would happen. That probably would not be a live. It would probably, because it would take some setup, tear down of different elements, and we'd want to show you different kinds, like a casual cream tea to a formal afternoon tea
to a high tea. Yeah.
So
unless we can coordinate it with different rooms in the house, even so, it's a lot of setup.
It's a lot of setup.
So we think maybe we would
we're going to record that, and we would post it at our live time.
Right.
And then we would be available in the comments to answer any questions that pop up during the live. Now, what that means is the recording won't pause for us to answer the question. We're only going to answer the questions in the comments.
Right. Yeah.
So you would have to pay attention to the comments to see those answers. But we're gonna talk about that and the logistics of that and figure out. That'll probably be after the holidays.
Yeah. Because
that'll take some
planning.
Yeah. A visual demo on the difference between cream tea, afternoon tea, high tea. And it'll either be part of that or we can do that in a separate, so that's what we're talking about. How are ways that we can.
I think it'd probably be part of that.
Probably part of that. Yeah. Because part of the show in the afternoon tea is elements of the table, how to do it, how to plan for it, what's needed, from there.
Yeah.
There was interest in knowing more about China. And so, like the different patterns, the history, anything related to China. I would add even silver pieces, and it doesn't even have to be silver, but like serving pieces.
Right. And that could really be kind of fun. But we're going to have to figure out the logistics on that, too.
Yeah.
How we can really give a good representation of different Chinas from different. Well, we kind of focus on English, but we wanted to also show some other things that are typically available these days. And so it's going to take a bit of logistics to come up with a plan. But we are thinking about doing that pretty soon, aren't we?
And he needs to stay in the camera. Just hug. A little bit of logistics. I sell some, but I don't sell a lot. Between the two of us, we have pieces.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you have more than I do, obviously, but it's figuring out how to show it, what to show, and all of that. So we'll figure that out.
Right.
And then pairing teas with food. How to know how to pair teas with food. So with Farm Fresh being our theme for tonight, I chose teas to pair with the food that Marmy's going to demonstrate. We're doing savories tonight, and so it's not baking.
Right.
And so I chose teas. I'm going to show 6 teas that pair with the menu that she's demonstrating tonight. So so we're going to cover that, but I'm going to do more of that. So whenever we have a theme, I'm going to make sure to explain how to pair the teas with whatever the baked good is, whatever it is. I'm going to try to do a better job of, it's going to stay within the theme, but it's also going to pair well with what we're demonstrating.
Right.
And then the last thing was somebody asked if we could do maybe a Q&A session. And we had talked about that a while ago, but we talked about it today. We for sure are going to do that. And so probably the way that would look, it would be a shorter evening, probably half an hour, maybe longer if there are a lot of questions. But just to open it up to you guys to ask whatever questions you want to ask of us.
We may just sit in the dining room and set up the
laptop,
and take questions and give answers and just kind of have a conversation.
Conversation with you guys. Where do it that way we can see the questions that pop up in the comments while we're live, and then we can just answer them live.
And we'll certainly give you a reminder about that so that you can have your questions ready in advance.
Right. And they can run from,
anything.
Questions about the business, questions about tea, food, kitchen stuff, you name it, we'll try to answer.
And I remember somebody asked about more information about our travels to England, and in particular about what tea places we visited. So even questions like that, if you want us to talk a little bit more about our travel, maybe about, your early years in England when you were a little girl. I mean, anything like that, we'd be happy to share.
Yeah, we're happy to share. We're kind of open books.
Yeah, we got a lot of history.
So we do. Anyway, so I did want to say thank you for that. And if you're not in the group and you want to join the group and give us your feedback, that's where you need to do it. The group is there on Facebook. It's a private group. If you just search facebook.com/groups/T4AllReasons, you'll see it. You'll see the logo for the business, and come on into the group. Now, you do need to answer 2 questions. I am declining if the questions are not answered because it is a private group. I'm trying to weed out bots and spammers and all of that. So you do need to answer those questions or you'll get declined. But you're welcome to join. We've got 800, almost 880, or have we topped 880? I've had a lot of new members
this week.
The last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So.
And just bear in mind, and Jen has mentioned this before, but it's not meant for anybody who joins to promote their own business or their own interests or what have you. It's to just join in the conversations and the love for the tea culture.
Yes.
Anything to do with the tea culture, but not self-promotion at all.
Yeah, don't promote. Like if you're a tea entity, it's Tea for All Reasons group. So it's my brand's group.
Yeah.
I do promote, but it's my brand.
Right.
So I ask you not to promote other teas or tea companies.
But we love you.
Your tea room, you are more than welcome to promote your tea room.
Okay.
Yeah. I welcome tea rooms to promote in the group. I don't think very many have.
Right.
But don't promote a tea brand.
Right.
That's the difference.
Okay. All right. Good.
Anyway. So.
And actually, that's good because people all over the country are always looking for new tea rooms. And so, that's good.
Yeah, a good place to do that. Yeah, and there are some tea rooms. The owners are in the group. So you're more than welcome to promote your tea room. Just don't promote a brand.
Yeah. Okay.
A tea brand, because it's my brand.
Yeah.
My room. My rules.
That's right.
That's the way it goes. Dad's like, Jen. Okay, so but anyway, so that's about the Facebook group. The website is tforallreasons.com if you want to shop. And my email is info@tforallreasons.com. And Mom has a shop on Etsy, vintageforallreasons.etsy.com.
Right.
And your email
is info@vintageforallreasons.com.
Right. And Molly put the link to my shop and the email's in there. She didn't put vintage
That's all right.
in there. Anyway, so that's that. And then, okay, so it's the middle of August. And so that means fall is coming.
Yeah.
Woohoo! Just hands.
I'm already seeing stuff on Facebook starting to promote fall.
Yep. And so I just wanted to let you know that on September the 1st, which is Labor Day,
it is.
The fall tees will be available on the website. The spring tees will be removed from the website until next spring. But the fall tees will be available, and that includes the fall sampler. And I didn't have time today to put the box together.
All right.
There are a couple different tees that are in the fall sampler for this year, and I can't remember what the tees are.
Yeah, just, okay.
Yeah, next month I'll have a sampler to show, and I'll explain the teas that are in the sampler, but the fall sampler will be available.
It's going to be good.
And then I wanted to give you the heads up so that you can be planning for your budget. The Advent calendar pre-orders are going to be available mid-September.
Wow, that's awesome.
And it's crazy to think that we're already there, but we're there. And I'll just let you know, the pre-orders, especially this year, are going to be really crucial because I work my day job at the office now, where I used to be at home. And so I'm literally only working on packaging tea on the weekends.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. So if you...
But don't let that deter you.
Yeah, don't let that deter you. I'm just saying I'm really going to count on those pre-orders to help me know how to schedule my time. For, like, how many do I need to make is basically what I need.
Yep.
So if you're planning on an Advent calendar, please plan on pre-ordering so that I know how many I need to make. And like usual, they'll ship out in November around Veterans Day-ish so that you get them before December 1st. Well before.
Yeah.
You'll probably get them before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Okay, and with that,
we're
going to move into the other part of the kitchen, and Marmy is going to do the food demo.
Okay. All right, come on over.
Okay.
Okay. Well, kind of taking your suggestions on some things that you wanted to know about and the tea pairing, we decided that tonight what we would do is focus on savories, but we're doing farm fresh, which means that all of the sandwiches that we're doing have farm fresh ingredients. That includes the vegetables and the herbs. And then we're going to do 4 different tea sandwiches. And we were amazed and very surprised to learn that there are a number of you who have never made a cucumber sandwich or never even had a cucumber sandwich. And so that's one of the sandwiches we're going to do. I'm doing 2 kind of classic tea sandwiches, cucumber and egg salad. And then we're also going to do another one that's in the cookbook. Now, actually, the cucumber sandwich recipe that we're doing and the egg salad and the next one, which is the fresh tomato Parmesan rounds with basil butter, that is also in the cookbook. Let me give you the page numbers in case you want to take note of this. We're doing a cucumber ranch sandwich, which is on page 98, and this is in the new cookbook. The new one, which is this one, page 98. The curried egg salad, which is on page 35. And the fresh tomato Parmesan rounds with basil butter is on page 61. So those are in the cookbook. And then the other one we're going to do is a fresh vegetable tortilla roll-up. And I love them because they're just so beautiful once they're made, and they're just very colorful. And it's going to be a really nice, colorful plate that we're going to create for a savory tea. And so we'll show that at the end. But let's start with the cucumber. Okay. And typically, cucumber sandwiches are made on white bread. There's no rule that says you have to do it on white bread, but I think it's funny because I've seen lots of articles and what have you that people are appalled if it's not made on white bread. So we're sticking with kind of tradition on that. Okay.
You know what I can do to help?
I will. Okay. So what we're going to do is lay out our bread, and I've already removed the crust, and hubby bought some kind of thin sliced, not the thinnest you can get, which I don't. Oh. It is thinner than most breads, but it's not. There's another brand. Actually, this is Pepperidge Farm.
Yeah, I was going to say Pepperidge Farm makes it.
Pepperidge Farms, they do a thin sandwich. But anyway, this is what we got, and it's really nice bread. So we're going to lay these out.
But you can use whatever bread you want.
You can. You can, absolutely. I mean, you could even do it on a roll if you want to. But we're showing you the classic cucumber sandwich. Okay. Now, and I've done most everything. Well, I've done everything in advance because, which we call mise en place. And so we did the mise en place to have everything out and ready to go, including all the spreads and all the vegetables are ready, and the herbs are all ready too. So, all right. So with the cucumber sandwiches, I wanted to just mention one thing. There are actually a number of different recipes for cucumber sandwich. Some of them use just sour cream. Some start with a butter first and then sour cream. Some use mayonnaise, which is not my favorite. I think it's just too rich. But this one I really like. This is, and some use plain cream cheese. Well, I like this one because this is cream cheese with ranch salad dressing mix. And I usually buy the big container, so I can't recall offhand, but I think it was like a teaspoon and a half, something like that, maybe 2 teaspoons. It calls for 1 packet, and I estimated because I had the big container. Yeah. But, so I don't think we need to use the butter because, and one of the reasons why it's recommended that you do the butter is because cucumbers tend to be very moist, and it kind of provides a barrier from the moisture. But I actually sliced the cucumbers in advance, and then let me show you what I did. I sliced them in the food processor so that they would be nice and uniform, and then I put them in this container and lined it with paper towel, and they're great. They're moist, but they're not running. Wet. They're not wet. Yeah. So they're going to be just perfect for the sandwiches. Okay?
Some salt the cucumbers. I don't. In this case, you don't need to because the ranch flavor in the cream cheese adds that saltiness to it.
Right.
You need to be careful when you salt the cucumbers because they absorb. If you use too much, then they're going to be way too salty.
They are, and actually, doesn't it remove some of the?
It will pull the moisture.
It will pull the moisture out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you do want them to be moist, but you just don't want them to be watery.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, do you use seedless cucumbers?
Oh, that's a good question. I did, hubby did buy the English cucumber, which is great. And I like to leave the peel on. I wash them really well, and I like the English ones with the peel on them. And they have just, the seeds are hardly noticeable. Yeah. If you use regular ones, there are a lot of
yeah, that adds moisture too.
It does.
The regular ones, or the seed part, is so wet.
Yeah, so I really like the English, and they're smaller. That's the other thing.
Yeah, they're not as fat.
They're not as fat. And all right, let me move on because I don't. Maybe you continue to spread, Jen, and I'll start.
Well, do you spread both sides?
I do spread both sides. Okay. Yeah. All right. So what I'm going to do And it's always depending on the size of the cucumbers and the bread. But I'm going to do it this way. Because once the sandwiches are made, then we're going to slice them lengthwise. We're going to slice them across this way so that they're a rectangle. Now, one of the things that we love about having tea in England is that they have a way, and I think they have special
They have a
machines that cut them. But
although I've also heard electric knives will do it.
I have heard that too. Yeah. And I like to be generous with the cucumber. I don't lay them out in a single layer. I like to be generous with the cucumber. So anyway, so they have special machines, and so when you get very often in some of the fanciest tea rooms, you will get a plate. Let's take example. Let's say, just imagine that this is a platter, and they would line up the sandwiches like this all together, and it's almost like a rainbow of sandwiches, and you would have cucumber and egg salad and maybe tomato and cheese, maybe tomato and pickle, roast beef and horseradish cream, just a wide variety of sandwiches, and they'd be all lined up like that. And they're beautiful.
And the sharpest edges.
And the sharp edges, they're all cut uniformly. And that's in some of the very fanciest of tea rooms. A few will do different things, like a pastry or a cream puff with filling or something. Some of them will do that, but most of the places we've been to have the uniform, the row. Yeah, and they're wonderful. We love them. Okay. I remember, Jen, you had a tea for Molly many years ago.
Yeah.
And I think you made absolutely the best cucumber sandwiches I had ever had.
Well, thank you very much.
You really did.
High praise indeed.
They were.
It was this.
They were so good. Okay, now I just need.
Yeah, just one more. No.
Yep.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. All right, and then we're going to top these, and
put the lids on.
Put the lids on. All right.
So I'm pressing the lid into the cucumber.
Yeah.
So that it sticks on there for when you slice.
I'm going to get a plate.
Now, normally you would cut your crusts off after you've assembled, and then you trim off the extra cucumber. But we're going to pretend that we did that.
Well, and the reason, and Huppy was kind of questioning what I was doing and cutting it off in advance. And the reason I did is because these were not the typical squared off sandwich loaves. They had the rounded top. And so I was going to have to trim them to get them squared, and I wanted to do that beforehand.
Yeah.
So,
but typically, I would recommend leave your crust on, assemble your sandwiches, and then you can cut the crust off, and then you have that crisp edge.
That crisp edge. But
these look fine.
Yeah, and our cucumbers are sticking out a little bit, and that's fine.
And it's totally fine. But if you want that crisp edge, assemble it with the crust on, and then trim your crust.
And then trim.
Then slice
I agree.
It. Yeah.
But it's good for you to see options.
Are you going to use that knife or a serrated knife?
I'm going to use this one. I sharpened it really, really well. Yep, thank you. Yeah.
So you do want a really sharp knife. You can use a serrated knife, like a bread knife. Will work.
As long as it's really, really sharp.
But it needs to be sharp.
Yeah.
And you don't want to press down.
Right.
So you can see she's barely pressing.
Yeah, you don't want to squash it. You don't want
to squish your bread.
Yeah. And
Electric knife would do it.
Yeah, I used to have one years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to it. I think we lost it in a move. maybe.
Maybe. And don't cut my finger off.
No.
Our hands are clean.
And you know what we have said just about every time we have these in England? Why don't we make these at home?
I know, it's not
Why
hard.
don't we have these more often? They're so good.
Delicious.
And
kind of healthy.
Kind of healthy. And so refreshing in summertime.
Especially in the summer. I really want to eat one of those right now.
All right. Now, something else I want to show you before I move on to another sandwich, because I do want to keep these fresh. So you would be making these ahead of time, like let's say an hour or so, maybe 2 hours before the tea that you serve. And how do you keep them from drying out? The trick is to get a paper towel,
which I'm doing right now,
and get it really damp.
Cold.
Yes, cold water.
Cold water, not hot water.
Not hot water.
It's mostly damp. There are some dry spots on there, but this is going to do.
Yeah, and then we put plastic wrap.
Yep.
Over that, and then put it in your fridge.
In the fridge.
And they're going to be fine.
Yep.
They're going to be fine until you need them.
Yep.
So you know where this plastic wrap is.
Are we doing that?
Yeah, you can go ahead, because we're not going to plate these until a little bit later.
Okay.
Okay, now, so basically we're going to be doing the same thing with the egg salad. The only difference is we are not putting anything on the bread first. Now again, you can, if you want to, you could put mayonnaise on there, but I made the egg salad pretty nice and moist. What I used, yeah, let me get a paper towel and wipe that off.
Yeah.
I don't think I would put butter on there. You could put more mayo on there if you wanted to.
I don't even think you need to.
I don't think you need to either.
If your egg salad is made right, it's going to have enough.
It is.
Binder.
Yeah.
Moisture.
Now this is curried egg salad, and it's basically hard-boiled eggs, and and the recipe that I'm following is in my cookbook. A teaspoon and a half of curry powder, and don't be afraid of the curry powder. Oh my gosh, I just love curry. Is that the last one?
That's fine.
2, 3, 4. Okay. Did I do one too many?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
All right. Someone was asking, they won't get soggy. I'm assuming with the paper towel.
No.
No, they don't. It's not a soaking wet paper towel. So I ran it under water and then I squeezed out most of the water so that the paper towel was just damp. And then I laid it over the sandwiches. It's not going to affect the sandwich. It's going to keep the bread from drying out.
Because it will dry out really fast.
Because it does dry out. Even in the fridge, when it's covered, the bread starts to dry out.
Yeah.
Because the air in the fridge is dry. So yeah, that paper towel is crucial, but it needs to be damp.
Yeah.
Which is why it still had some dry spots on it, because I wasn't trying to get a super soaked paper towel.
Yeah, it wasn't dripping wet. You squeezed it
I
out.
squeezed out most of the extra water.
Right.
How much of the egg salad is going on each piece?
The right amount.
The right amount. That's a good answer. You're watching me. So
it's whatever you like.
Yeah, this recipe made this amount in this bowl. It was 4 eggs and the other ingredients. So I would have enough probably for quite a few more sandwiches. I was tempted to half the recipe, and then I thought, no, we'll probably eat it.
That looks like it's about a 1/4 cup.
Yeah.
Per sandwich.
Yeah, and you want to be generous. I mean,
and I'm talking per square.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you want it to be generous. When
do.
They pick up the sandwich, you want your layers to be even. You want the filling to be the same width as each piece of bread. So you want bread width, filling width, bread width. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. You want your stripes to be equal.
Right. Okay, are we good? You think?
It looks beautiful.
Okay.
Although I would have brought it out to the corners a little more, but that's me.
She's good.
Oh, I mean.
All right. And then I thought just to make the shapes a little bit different, maybe we would do triangles with these. You could do hearts, but you waste a lot of bread that way.
You waste a lot of bread that way.
Yeah.
But the way to do that is with cookie cutters.
Yeah.
But again, you want to make sure your cookie cutter is really sharp. So
yeah, that's right.
For a shape like that, I would actually cut the bread into the shape first. That's a case where I would cut the bread into the shape first and then assemble the sandwich.
Well, you could. And this one I am going to have to mash down a little bit. Yeah.
Do you need a plate?
Yeah, or we can stack them on the other one.
What's the tray for?
That's for these.
Oh,
because they're going
they're going in the oven.
They're going in the oven. Yeah.
So are we putting them on the plate we just put in the fridge?
We can. Mm-hmm. And if you could bring out the roll up, which is on the right hand side.
I can do that.
Okay.
All right, let's stack them on top of the paper towel.
Okay, that's a good idea. Perfect. And they'll get moisture on the bottom and the top.
All right, so I just soaked another paper towel and squeezed out most of the water to put on top of these egg salads.
And then when we serve them, I'm going to just garnish with a little bit of fresh dill. Okay. Now the next one is actually is also in the cookbook, and this is really different. This one is actually going to go into the oven and be broiled. It's one of my favorites. It is something I actually developed myself back in the day when I first published the cookbook. Probably, I think it was published in 2007. But the first step is to make a basil butter compound. And this is, again, in the cookbook. And for years, I made this every year because I was growing basil and I wanted to have something, available all the time. It's great for corn on the cob. It's great on putting on bread.
Salmon.
It's great on salmon, anything like that. It's just wonderful to have on hand, and you can freeze it. Once you've made it, you can put it in the freezer and have it for the holidays. But what we're going to do, and I need to clean this. Yeah. What we're going to do is
the recipe in your book.
The recipe is in the book. It's on page 61. It's called Fresh Tomato Parmesan Rounds with Basil Butter. Okay, so now what we're going to do, and this is what I was afraid of, that I didn't get it out soon enough or early enough. Yeah, it'll work.
Yeah,
We'll get it.
Yep, you just got to press it hard.
Yeah, and the bread is nice and sturdy. I believe the recipe in the cookbook calls for a different bread than this, and but I chose this time to use French bread because it is a little bit sturdier, and I think if you used a regular bread, it might just not hold up as well, but that's up to you. But I think what I've learned over time is that I like this bread better for this recipe. So, but you can use whatever you want.
You could use a crostini.
Yeah.
Crostini is a little more fragile.
Right. But look at how beautiful that butter is. And the recipe also, gives you the instructions on how to make the basil butter. And, you need some fresh basil, not
dry.
Not the dry. You need fresh, and do it in the food processor. And this actually has garlic and it's an unsalted butter, garlic, minced garlic, a little bit of salt, just a pinch of salt, and then the handful of basil. You want to explain how to the chiffonade?
Chiffonade of your basil. So you take your basil leaves and you stack them. I usually take the smallest leaves and I stack them into the largest leaf, because then you're going to roll it up like a cigar, and that large leaf will hold the smaller ones in it. So you roll it up and then you slice it into ribbons.
Yeah,
and that's chiffonade.
That's chiffonade. And you can do that not just for the basil butter, but you can do that when you're adding basil to fresh pasta sauce.
Yeah, it looks pretty.
It is beautiful. But don't do it too far in advance because it will start to get brown.
Yeah, it does wilt.
And it wilts. Okay. All right, I think that will do that. So now I'm going to transfer these to the baking dish, because they're eventually going to go into the oven on broil. Okay. So now on top of the basil butter, you're going to put a slice of plum tomato. And again, I use the plum tomato. It's also called aroma. I use the plum because it's not as moist.
Yeah.
Because you don't want the moisture on there. And as a matter of fact, when I sliced them, I dabbed them with paper towel to remove some of the moisture. And I just sliced them like an hour ago.
And they also fit on the bread.
And they also fit on the bread.
Because it's a smaller diameter tomato.
Yep. Okay, so there's our tomato. And the next is the Parmesan cheese.
So you're using pre-grated from a bag.
From a bag, yeah, but not
the shaky can.
Not the shaky can.
Not the shaky can.
No.
But you could use fresh Parmesan that you grate yourself.
Yes, and actually that's the best.
It's the best.
Yeah.
But the bagged is fine.
Yeah. And actually, I cut up the Parmesan a little bit because what you find in the bag can be longer pieces. So I did.
Depends on the brand you buy.
Yeah, I did cut these up. Okay. And then you sprinkle with just a little bit of dried basil. And it's really for garnish because you've got the basil flavor.
Yeah, it just gives color.
It just gives color on the top. And then before serving, we're going to put just a little leaf of the fresh basil on there. Okay, so I'm not going to put these in the oven quite yet. I'm going to wait until Jen starts her tea demo. So that's that one. All right, and then lastly, what we're going to do is a fresh vegetable tortilla roll-up. And that's going to go on the egg salad sandwiches. Yeah. And I've already made one in advance because it needed to be refrigerated. And so we'll be cutting this one. Okay. So this is how it looks when it's all rolled up and put into the saran wrap. And then we're going to put it back in the fridge, if you don't mind. I just wanted to show that. Okay?
Okay.
I don't want it to sit out.
Yeah, no, I thought you were going to cut it.
I'll show it when we do. Okay. Now this recipe makes 2 of these. So I've already used half of the ingredients. That's why the bowls look depleted a little bit. And you use the large tortillas.
The
burrito size tortillas. Yeah. They're, what do you think, Jen? 12 inches? They're not the 10 inches.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, they're the large ones. So you do want to use the large ones. Okay. And then the filling that I have on this, and I searched various recipes, and I came up with this one. I thought this was the best. It's cream cheese, mayonnaise, garlic powder, dried dill, salt, and ground black pepper. And so as I said, I've already used half of the recipe of the filling because I made one in advance. Oh, it smells good. Okay.
Can I give you a tip?
Sure.
You're using the wrong side.
You know, I know that, and it's funny how with some things I just flip it over. I don't know why, but you're right.
Well, because you're used to scooping like a spoon,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
But then when you spread, you actually want to use the other side.
You smell that?
I do. It smells delish.
Yeah.
It's making me hungry.
Yeah, our meal times have been kind of weird today, right?
Yeah.
Did you have something?
I ate in the car.
Okay.
With the children's.
With the kiddos. Okay. Yeah, Jesse's here also. He's downstairs.
He's playing on the PlayStation.
Yeah, he'll come up when food
When
is
the food
announced.
is ready.
Yeah.
Exactly. He's not dumb.
And you want to get it all the way to the edge because it's going to act as glue.
Yep.
When we start to do the rolling up. And you probably thought that was an awful lot, in the beginning, but really it's a thin layer, so it's not too much at all. Okay. All right. Now, as I said, I've already used half of this. So this is the vegetable mixture is I used diced green pepper, bell pepper. I used red bell pepper, and then I used grated carrot, and green onion, and cucumber. So that's what I used. You can vary it. You can use yellow pepper. You can add broccoli. That was one of the suggestions, was broccoli. I chose not to do broccoli. But yeah, so you can do whatever your favorites are.
Mushroom.
You could use mushroom, yeah. Black olives.
Mm-hmm. Any kind of olive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then we are going to top it with cheese, because cheese makes everything even better.
That's true.
And you can just imagine once this is rolled up and sliced, how pretty it's going to be. And also, now I'm not doing this because it's summertime, but if you wanted to do this in the fall or the winter time, you can heat these up. You can put them in the oven.
Well, and you could do some roasted vegetables. So you could do roasted zucchini, squash, eggplant.
Yes.
You want to watch the moisture factor on those.
Yeah.
Potatoes. Yeah, any vegetable.
Yeah. Just have to make sure that they're diced really finely. And
I would roast them in larger pieces and then dice them after they've been cooked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Great suggestions. I love that. And I didn't measure out the cheese, folks, so I'm not sure I'm going to use all the cheese.
Well, it looked like you had about a third to a half of a cup in the bowl.
Yeah.
What kind of cheese?
It says yeah, it is sharp cheddar. It does say half a cup.
Between the two.
Yes.
Yes.
So a quarter cup. Yeah. I think we're done.
Maybe. I know. I would put that on there. Just put it on there. Use as much cheese as you want. And if you already have it out, use it.
Use it. Yeah.
No
okay.
Such thing as too much cheese.
Exactly.
Now, one thing that it suggests to you is to microwave the tortilla before you start this. I did not do that because these are super fresh and they're nice and soft. So I didn't do that. The other thing that I would recommend, and I didn't do, is to put the saran wrap or the plastic wrap underneath. So that then it's easier, you know, once you're done, you just got your wrap right there.
Do you want me to get you a piece
Yeah,
of
if you
saran wrap?
would. And because I was using the board for so much, I
Right.
totally forgot. It also, you also could tuck the sides in. And I might do that. Well, no, I can't now. I've already started. But you could tuck the sides in if you want to. I did not do that.
No, because you're going to trim them.
Yeah, I'm going to trim them anyway. So
I didn't know how long you needed. This is probably long enough.
And then make sure you tuck all that in. And then this is going to go right in there. Okay? Put it that way. Okay.
Yeah, too much.
I miss that. All right. Just make sure that we know which is which. So, okay. And honey, you want to go ahead and take the other one out and I'll slice it and show them? Thank you. And this is another reason why you need a very, very sharp knife on this.
That's been refrigerated how long?
This has been in probably for 4 hours. It says you only have to do it for an hour, but another recipe had you do it overnight. I think the 4 hours is probably plenty, but I think you could probably do an hour.
Yeah, I think an hour. No less than an hour.
Yeah, no, I'm going to do that because you think that's a good, about an inch?
About an inch.
And then you want to kind of shape it a little bit once it comes out. Some recipes say to put a toothpick in there to keep it together, which you can do. If they start to fall apart, you can put a toothpick in there. I think they're going to be okay.
I'll get a plate.
Don't they look yummy? So that's what we have for you tonight, is all these wonderful, oh, you know what, another thing, you could even put spinach leaves in there. That would be pretty. All these farm fresh vegetable savory options. Very summery, very refreshing. Oh, and another thing I wanted to say, and someone may be asking about this or thinking about this. I wouldn't say that they're low fat or low calorie. However, there's no reason why you can't use the lower fat cream cheese. You can use the lower fat mayonnaise if you want to. That would cut the fat, cut the calories a bit. Now that one is towards the end, so it's not as pretty. Yeah, but there you go.
Yep. And then the other roll.
And
Later.
Yeah. Okay, so there we are. And then when Jen is done with the tea demonstration, I will have everything ready, including the Parmesan basil butter rounds, and show everything off.
Yep. Sounds good. Okay, I'm going to squeeze in.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a 5-minute break so that I can finish getting the tea part set up. I mean, I'm mostly set up, getting the water up to the boil, and then I'll do the tea demonstration.
Okay.
And then we'll wrap it up.
All right.
Okay, so come back it's 7:49, come back at 7:55. So we'll call it 6 minutes, and we'll come back after the break.
Okay.
Okay, welcome back. Well, it's a little bit early, but that's okay. Mom is working on the tomato basil in the oven. I'll unmute her when she comes back. Okay, so we're back for the tea demonstration, and based on the feedback from folks in the group, they like when I actually brew tea. So I tried an experiment last month of brewing the tea ahead of time, and some of you liked it, but the majority of the feedback was that you actually like to see the process of the brewing. And so I'm going to show you the process of the brewing. So I brought 6 teas that pair well with all of the items that Mom prepped. And so the principle with tea pairing is you want to have a tea that's complementary with the foods and is not going to compete with the foods. So in this case, with a savory item, you don't want a super sweet tea. You don't want a super fruity tea. You don't want a tea that's got chocolate or anything else like that in it. You want a basic black tea. Here's where a basic black tea is good in this case. In the case of the cucumber sandwich with that cream cheese, and then also that roll up that's got that spread, and then also maybe not as much the basil butter. The black tea, the astringency in a black tea is going to cut through that fat a little bit. So when you're taking the bite of the sandwich and then you take a sip of the tea helps to complement the flavors from the sandwich, but it also cuts the fat a little bit in your mouth for the mouthfeel. Hopefully that makes sense. So that's what you want to think about when you're pairing teas with food.
There's a drama going on behind.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. Question?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Great. I'm trying to explain, and you're distracting everybody. No, it's totally fine. It's totally fine. Yeah, we'll get to this question in a second. Just push that button up. Yeah, there we go. So hopefully that made sense. And you can do green tea, you can do rooibos, but the same principle applies that you really, or even an herbal, but you want to have an herbal that's complementary to whatever the food is, that's not going to compete with it. So you even like herbals are a little tougher because herbals are typically fruit and flowers. But other key herbals are rooibos, honeybush, which act more like tea. And so those are some herbals that you can use with savory food. So anyway, all that being said, I brought 6 teas. I brought 3 black teas, 1 green tea, an herbal, and a rooibos to demonstrate as potential pairings for this particular tea sandwich plat. If that's what you're going to have at your tea. So I'm going to use the tea sack. Again, these are the tea sack number 1 that we always use during our demonstration. We're using teacups, but I recommend these for mugs. This is good for a regular mug. Okay, tea sack 1. And they come out of the box crimped together as pairs. If you look for the bottom of one, you'll find the top of the other. You can rip them apart. Okay, so I'll get to that in a second. So we'll start with the black teas. Don't burn myself on the hot kettle. So the first one that I brought to show, and I'm going to brew, is Baroness Grey. And it is an Earl Grey that is flavored with lemon. So it's an Earl Grey. It's a mild Earl Grey with notes of lemon in it, citrus. And it's a really, really nice alternative to a traditional Earl Grey tea. And if you like having an Earl Grey in the afternoon, this is a good one, especially paired with the savory stuff. So I'm going to demonstrate the Baroness Grey. And then the next one I brought was Windsor Castle, which is also a really nice black tea. Windsor Castle is composed of Assam, Darjeeling, and Ceylon teas. So you get kind of a malty flavor with the Assam you've got the toasty flavor of the Darjeeling, and then the Ceylon brings kind of a lightness to it. And it's a really nice black tea. It's good any time of the day. It works well as a breakfast tea, but it's also really nice in your afternoon tea. So it's Windsor Castle. And then the third black tea that I brought is Grand Abbey blend. And it is a flavored black tea, but I think it's a nice complementary tea to savory because it is, I meant to write down my notes and I didn't write down on that one. It is black tea and it's flavored with currants. And it does have raspberry leaves in it too, but it's not it's not very fruity. It has a really nice mild flavor to it. Kind of, is this the one with the grenadine flavor in it?
The Grand Abbey?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, it's a grenadine flavor, and it's also pretty to look at. It's got sunflower petals in it. And it's a really, really nice black tea for an afternoon tea. Okay, and then the green tea that I brought is actually Genmaicha, which is Japanese green tea that is also called brown rice tea. You can see the popped brown rice that's in the green tea. So in Japan, in harder times, they would supplement the green tea with the brown rice to help it last longer. Yes. And it's a really nice green tea. It has the vegetal flavor of a green tea and then the nuttiness of the popped rice that's in it. And someone asked, wouldn't green tea go well with savory items? And yes, it would, which is why I brought one.
Yeah.
But yes, any plain green tea is going to go really well with a savory item because it does have a more vegetal flavor to it, and it will complement any savory very well. Mm-hmm. Just make sure to brew it the right time. Right?
Not too long.
Not too long.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the herbal that I brought, and this is different than most herbals. It's Market Basket, and this is a vegetable-based herbal.
It's surprisingly wonderful.
It's very, very good, but it is all vegetables, and so it's very different from your. Can't pick it up. Very different from your typical herbal that you think of as being fruit or flowers.
Right.
This one does have apples in it and rose hips and hibiscus, but it's got tomato pieces, cucumber, lemon, lime, orange, and some other flavors in it. And this would be great. Like if you can't drink black or green tea because of the caffeine, Market Basket would be great in your savory course when you're serving afternoon tea.
Yeah, I can just, and so wonderful for summer. Like you're out on the porch, you're out in the garden and having your afternoon tea. That is, I think it's wonderful.
Yeah, it has a nice, fresh, vegetal flavor to it, but it's not off-putting at all.
No, not at all.
It's great. And then I did bring one rooibos, and it's the vanilla cream rooibos. And you would think, well, why would I introduce vanilla? Molly's favorite tea when we go to afternoon tea usually has a vanilla base in it. And vanilla, we think of it as a dessert flavor, but it really complements. It complements a savory really, really well. It doesn't add sweetness. It adds a warmth.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain.
Yeah, it is hard to explain, but it is really quite wonderful with the
nice.
savories.
And I do recommend a vanilla black.
Yeah.
If you can do black tea. But if you can't do black tea, then a nice vanilla basic rooibos is going to serve you well. Yeah. Because it is naturally decaffeinated. There's nothing extra in it. It's just that rooibos and the vanilla flavor.
Right.
And it adds a nice touch when served with a savory course.
And here's another thought. If you are having an afternoon tea and you're only serving one tea, that's a good one because that will transition from all three courses.
Right. And the Grand Abbey would do the same thing for you as well.
Yeah.
Even the Baroness Grey. If you're an all gray lover, but you want something other than just your standard Earl Grey, the Baroness Grey is going to be a nice one for an afternoon tea.
Yeah, and let me also say that when you go out for afternoon tea to a tea room or a hotel or what have you, and if they offer you a different tea for each course, take advantage of that, because you're really going to get that added experience to your afternoon tea and exposed to more flavors.
Right. You can find out
what
you like
varieties.
and what you don't like.
Yeah.
You may end up choosing something that you don't like, and so oh, you know what? I may not really want that vanilla flavor with my savory course. Or, yeah, you know what? I do like that added touch of the vanilla with the sandwiches.
Yeah. So if they offer it, take advantage of it.
Take them up on that. Because it's part of the cost. If it's part of the what you're paying for the tea, definitely do it.
Do it, yeah.
Okay, before I start brewing, we had a question. Can you use fresh mushrooms in any of the sandwiches since they have so much moisture? So fresh mushrooms are not actually very moist. They're dry. It's the canned mushrooms that bring a lot of moisture because they're canned in the water.
Don't do it.
Don't wash your mushrooms in water.
Right, you're supposed to wipe them.
You're supposed to wipe them clean. Now, I am trying to cook fast, and so I very often will rinse my mushrooms because they're getting sauteed or whatever. But So I think if your mushrooms are wet, it's because you're wetting them. They're not an inherently wet vegetable,
That's right.
unless you're making them wet. So, but if you're rinsing them in water, pat them dry with a paper towel gently.
Yeah.
Before you put them in the sandwich, but you could see in that roll-up filling, it was very moist.
Yeah.
With the fresh vegetables, and so adding mushrooms to that is not a problem.
Right.
Do they constitute as a vegetable?
Mushrooms?
Yeah.
Yes, it's a vegetable.
Okay.
But I wouldn't use canned.
Yeah, don't use canned.
No. Use fresh.
Fresh.
They're wonderful.
They are.
Fungi.
They're fungi.
Yeah, that's
They
what I was
are.
thinking.
Well, but it works in the vegetable.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in the vegetable.
It's not a mineral.
Fungi usually aren't wet.
It's not a mineral.
You're right. Yeah. Anyway, okay, so I'm going to brew teas.
Okay.
And did I show all four in the, okay, I'm lost track. I don't know what's happening. Okay, so the first one here is the Baroness Grey, and like I always show, I open the tea sack, I've got my perfect cup of teaspoon, and I do a generous, some people do it flat, but I'm always generous with it. Put it in, and then I fold over the flap and I stick it in the cup. And I'm just going to work my way down. I'm going to go ahead and load all of my tea sacks. I actually find I like this process. It's very therapeutic for me. I don't know why. All right. Now the Windsor Castle. So again, I put the spoon in and then I flip it upside down to empty it. And it is the perfect cup of teaspoon that I do offer this in the shop. Down.
A necessity.
It's a necessity. And I do offer this, and I do have a perfect pot of teaspoon in the shop as well. That's for 3 to 4 cups of tea. And remember, when we talk about a cup, we're talking about a teacup, which is 5 to 6 ounces of what is called the liquor, which is the actual liquid tea. All right, so this is Grand Abbey, which you may know by its former name, which I will not say, but it did used to have a different name, and I renamed it a couple of years ago. And it's a delicious tea. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
All right, next is the Genmaicha. I always want to say Genmaicha, but it's Genmaicha. All right. Genmaicha. All right. Cha means tea. Chai means tea. So when you hear people calling chai tea, they're saying tea. And you can correct them. All right. So this one, the market basket is
with love.
Super chunky. Yes, with love. You can tell me you do know that chai means tea, right? So you're saying tea tea. So this one is super chunky, and the I can't tell what those are. I'm going to actually just grab one of those to stick in here. I think this is a lime or lemon piece, whatever. Mm-hmm. But you want one of those in there. And then the last one is the vanilla cream. So go ahead and pour. Marmy's going to pour water on the black teas. Can you do it?
Yep.
You got it? That's a heavy kettle. While I load up the rooibos. This is the vanilla cream rooibos. And Molly just gave me a question. Is Baroness Grey heavy on the bergamot or subtle? I think it's subtle. Everybody has their... Yeah, do the rooibos first.
Yeah, I was going to wait.
Yeah, do the rooibos.
Because of the timing of it.
Everybody has a different tolerance for the bergamot in Earl Greys, and every Earl Grey seems to be different in the level of bergamot. Don't fall in there. Nope, there she blows. So that tea sack fell in. There we go. Got it.
All right, and I'll do the herbal next.
That is the herb. Oh, market basket. Anyway, sorry. We're having issues.
No,
and
we're
I'm totally
good.
distracted while I'm trying to answer this question. Everybody has a different level of tolerance on the bergamot. And like I was saying, every type of Earl Grey has a different level of bergamot in it. I have definitely had some Earl Greys where the bergamot was almost bitter because it was too heavy-handed. I think our Earl Grey is the perfect amount of bergamot in the tea. All of our Earl Greys, I think, have the perfect amount of bergamot in it. Anyway, going back to the Baroness Grey in particular, I think it is not heavy on the bergamot. But I will be honest, it's been a while since I've sipped it. But I don't remember that it was heavy-handed in the bergamot.
No.
For that. So that, what is that? So Twinings, is it Twinings that has is it Lady Grey?
Yes.
So the Baroness Grey is a take on the Twinings Lady Grey, which was the original Earl Grey with the lemon. Right, which is the traditional. So that's their proprietary blend. And so any other tea merchant, provider, whatever, cannot use Lady Grey because they own that.
Right.
So that's why it's named Baroness Grey. But it's essentially like Lady Grey. So if you're familiar with Lady Grey from Twinings, then that's similar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean,
similar
you can
idea.
take a sip once it's done brewing and then give your opinion on it.
Yeah, I will actually sip that and so that I'm reminded of the bergamot level, and I'll revisit that for you. Good idea, Molly. Thank you. Any other questions? Did we answer all the questions? Okay, we're 5 seconds away.
All right, I'm going to go finish plating.
Okay, all right. Okay, so that was on the black teas, right? I'm going to move this kettle because it's still very hot, and I don't want to get burned.
Did you have a green here?
Yeah, the green right here.
Probably want to take the green now.
Yeah. Let me look at it. Yeah, that's probably good. Okay, so the Genmaicha green tea, I'm going to squeeze it out. So I've got the tea bag squeezer that I do carry in the shop, and I'm going to squeeze all of the liquor out of that tea sack into the cup. And it's a nice yellow color. That looks perfect, actually. And it does. I can smell the popped rice in it. Can you smell that? That smells really good. Okay, so then we come back down to the black teas, and the first one is the Baroness Grey. And I'm squeezing this tea sack.
You should say something that black teas are much more tolerant of time.
Yeah, black tea can tolerate more. So for sure, the green tea, don't steep it longer than 2 minutes. We harp on this every month, but green tea will get ridiculously bitter. So if you think that you don't like green tea, try backing off on your steeping time, and you may find that you actually love green tea. For years, I was over steeping green tea, and I was still making myself drink it because I knew it was healthy, and I hated it. And then I realized, wait a minute, I'm over steeping this. And when I backed off on the steeping time, I realized, no, this is great. I actually prefer green tea just in every day.
I do too.
Than black tea.
Yeah.
And it is good for you.
Whereas black tea could go as long as 5-6 minutes.
Yeah, depending on the black tea. My husband definitely brews his black tea 4 minutes. I tend to finish at 3, but I have let it sit a little bit longer, and black tea is a little bit more tolerant, but it will get bitter as well. So be mindful of your brewing times. And if you like a stronger tea, add more tea. Don't add more time. Add more tea if you like it stronger, because it does just get bitter. All right, so this is the Windsor Castle. And then this is the Grand Abbey black tea. So these are the black teas. All right. And I'm going to look at the herbal, but I think the herbal can go a little bit longer. I'll do the herbal last. And so this is the rooibos. And like I said, this is just basic rooibos with vanilla flavor. I probably could have used a little more water. And you can, well, you can't because it's not next to it. So the black teas have an amber color and the rooibos has a red color. So that they actually look pretty similar tonight. I think that's a little more red. But you can see they are slightly different. It may be hard to see on camera. Okay, and then the herbal. So the herbal market basket has a little bit of a pink hue, and that is the hibiscus. But it also has an amber tint to it, and that is from the vegetables that are in that blend with a slightly reddish. That looks more like rooibos, actually, than the rooibos does. Anyway, so there are your teas. So I'll revisit again. So this is the Baroness Grey, Windsor Castle, Grand Abbey, Genmaicha, green tea, Market Basket, herbal, and the vanilla cream rooibos. And those are your 6 teas.
Okay.
Okay, and then I think that timing worked out well. She's
did.
done plating our delicious sandwiches.
Okay.
Oh, those look so good.
So we have the Parmesan, tomato, basil butter rounds that have been put under the broiler, and it was probably maybe 3 minutes. You have to watch them, be really careful. We have the cucumber. These are the ranch cucumber sandwiches on white bread. These are the fresh vegetable tortilla roll-ups. And these are the curried egg salad on whole wheat.
Delicious. They look fabulous.
And so colorful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes a nice tea tray.
It really does for your savories.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And it gives a nice variety for the palate as well.
Yeah.
And every single one of these is going to go well with any of these teas that I demonstrated tonight.
Yeah. So those of you who have not had a cucumber sandwich, do that.
You need to
make them and let us know what you think.
Oh, mercy.
Please be careful.
Danger.
Was that?
Oh, he's going to take a sip.
I thought you were taking a picture. Here, I'll hold it. I'll hold it up close. You stinker. Okay. So yeah, let us know that you've made them and that you like them.
Yes. Yeah. Come to the group.
Yeah.
And if you're brave enough to take pictures, even if you think that they don't look pretty, take a picture, because you should be proud that you made something that you had never made before.
Exactly.
And we want to see that you're making use of what we're trying to help you do.
And the as I said, the recipes for the cucumber, the tomato, and the egg salad are in the cookbook. There's also at least one other cucumber sandwich in there. There may be 2 others. And there are 2 egg salad sandwiches. The other one is egg and almond,
egg and
which
almond, yeah.
I was torn because I love that.
No, I
And-
asked for the curried egg salad.
And this recipe I will post on Monday
Okay, perfect.
for the roll-ups.
Okay.
All right?
Okay, so that's it. But we have the giveaway.
Yes.
I'm moving
But
forward.
wait, there's more.
Where did my script go? So the giveaway tonight, I'm giving away 2 items, and like we do when we have 2, we'll put all of the names in the 15-ounce Tea for All Reasons logo mug, and then we'll draw 2 names. So the first one will get a 2-ounce bag of Baroness Grey.
Nice.
And the second name will get a copy of the cookbook. And so Molly and I will draw those names tomorrow. Put it in the comments. The keyword is fresh. You only have to do it one time. And then after church, I will go in there. So you have until about 11 o'clock in the morning Eastern time tomorrow to get your drawing in there. So if you missed it live and you're watching the video later, you can put your name in because I'm pulling those names starting about 11 o'clock, 11:30 tomorrow morning. So you have up until that point to get your name in there with the keyword fresh. And I'll do the drawing in the afternoon with Molly for the 2 items, the tea and the cookbook.
Yeah.
And then next month, I posted it right before we started.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, the event for next month is For Your Sweet Tooth.
Yes. And September. And you know
yeah.
what that means.
Yeah, and the fall.
Fall.
But we're going to focus on sweet things.
Sweet thing. Well, yes, sweet teas.
Sweet teas. I have a lot of dessert teas, and so we're going to highlight some of those.
And make a yummy dessert.
And we're going to make a yummy dessert.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm excited for that.
I am too.
I get to eat it.
I know, I am too.
Yep. And so that is September the 13th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, right here at the Tea for All Reasons page. And I guess that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Thank you all. And I just want to say real quickly, thank you again for everybody who's been praying for me. I could not get by without the prayers of you all and so many others who have expressed their care and concern for me. I'm not making any progress at this point, so your prayers continue, please. I would appreciate that.
Yeah. But it's not getting worse.
It's not getting worse, but I'm so thankful each time I'm able to do this. And so
I am too.
yeah, so God is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, very thankful.
Yep, we are thankful. And so with that, we're going to bid you adieu. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we will see you next time.
All right.
Okay.
Bye, friends.
Bye.